So you want to leave that relationship. You know it's not healthy, but something keeps pulling you back, right? Maybe it's the history you guys share, all that time you spent together, all the memories that you created, and you don't want to let that go. Maybe it's the guilt. You feel like you're quitting on them by walking away. You didn't try enough, or you're just giving up on you guys. Or maybe it's the fear, right? The fear of being alone when you walk away. No one's going to love you again. All those kind of things that can make you stay. But today, I want to show you something different. I want to show you the exact mindset shift that gives you the motivation to walk away from a toxic relationship or toxic cycle, but never go back again. So let's talk about how to break free and stay free. So if we're going to do this, we have to understand what actually drives motivation for us, right? And if you're not aware, the thing that motivates us best is our feelings, our emotions. Emotions are why you do anything, right? If you don't believe me, you can strength test that. Why do you get up and go to work every day? Not because you feel so great about going to work. Maybe if you don't like your job, I hope you love what you do. You should, right? But if you don't, but you do get up and go to work every day because you want to pay your bills, because you want to feel safe and reassured that you'll keep your lights on. You do want to feel that, right? You call or hang out with your friends because you want to feel like you're in some sort of camaraderie. Your feelings motivate everything you do or do not do, right? Maybe you feel scared about something, so you don't do it, right? So feelings, your emotions are the motivators. They're your fuel. So the very first step that you need to take if you're going to start to break yourself free from a toxic relationship or toxic cycles altogether and stay gone and never go back is you have to turn to your deepest pain point. You have to find your core motivating painful reason to move away from discomfort. Because as humans, we are pre-wired to do way more to move away from pain than we ever will do to go towards pleasure, right? So the first innate and most beneficial motivator initially, best fuel, is your deepest pain point. Whether you're trying to stop going through something over and over again, want to prove someone wrong, whatever the case is, let that pain motivate you and fuel you to get moving into action and get your propellers going. You've got to find the deepest pain point that shakes you awake, right? Turns the lights on. So if it's anger, use it. Maybe it's fear of repeating the same self-betrayal of yourself or whatever the case it is, use it. Maybe it's shame from letting yourself down again. Whatever it is, use it. See, pain is such a powerful motivator, fuel, if you will, to just get you going, to get you out of a toxic situation initially, because it's raw, it's real. It's that thing that makes you say, I'll never let this happen again. And you really feel that when you say that. Problem is, people don't necessarily do the best job at maintaining that type of energy or that type of headspace going forward. And there's a reason for that. That's because pain is never supposed to be a sustainable thing for you. It's not sustainable, right? Yes, it's a great initial motivator. That's why pain's great to get you moving, but that fuel burns out. At some point, you've tapped the well of it. So that brings up step 2. After you get moving from the pain, right? That being a big motivator to get you going, you got to start transitioning it from your biggest pain point to your deepest desire. That's forward thinking. See, when you're motivated by pain, you're really referencing the past a lot to get you to do something different in the present, right? To not repeat the pain or keep going through the pain. But the reason why people struggle and that falters and it doesn't work out so well is because pain or anger and frustration, those are not sustainable states. If anything, it's draining. It's emotionally draining. You wear yourself out. And we're pre-wired to do more to move away from pain than towards pleasure, right? But the thing with that is, once you move far enough away from pain and you're not in that painful state for a long enough time, you get comfortable. You stop moving. Once you've done enough to get away from your survival mode situation, then you sit and you just enjoy the harmony of things because your primal wiring, right? your mind and your body don't care about you thriving. They only care about you surviving. So once they've done their job to get you away from the pain enough to survive, they'll let you just go off and graze in the pasture like cattle, right? You won't keep moving. So if you want to stay gone from a toxic situation, you have to turn that pain and start looking towards what you want in your future, what you desire. A emotionally motivating reason enough to want to stay on that path and not abandon yourself or derail and go back to your old ways after you haven't been in pain long enough. You got to switch it to something that's going to motivate you to propel you forward, to move towards something, not away from something. So ask yourself, what kind of love do I want? What kind of peace am I building? Right? Things that are future focused, because make no mistake about it, desire lives where your future lives. Right? And here's the best part. The reason why it's sustainable, unlike the painful or negative motivating reason, is because it is positive. Positivity never gets old. You never get tired of being happy. You just want more of that happiness forever. But you absolutely get tired and fatigued from frustration and anger and sadness, because you're built to be a positive being, not to stay in a state of anger and frustration, right? That's a destructive state. So it's great to get you moving, but not to keep you going, right? So what do you desire most? What do you want to create in your life? And really get fixated and find the emotional connection to that. You got to feel something for the thing that you want to go accomplish or go do, or whatever you want to produce, or a relationship you want to have, or the lifestyle you want to live. You have to feel something for it that's going to make you excited enough to keep staying on a trail to go get it. Okay, so after we've gone through steps 1 and 2, you've gotten moving, motivated from that pain. It's got you going. And then you transition to something you desire more to keep you going, right? In a sustainable way comes the third best step that really anchors things in and makes sure that you never go back, for sure, right? And it is whenever you give yourself a reason beyond yourself to go get to the result you're trying to get to keep going, to go and actually stay true to not going back and abandoning yourself and all those things, to create the relationship you want to create or have the life you want to live. And if you're catching what I'm saying, this doesn't just apply to you leaving a toxic relationship. It applies to life, anything you want to accomplish in life, right? But nothing better helps you to make sure you don't return to something that's not good for you than you giving yourself a reason beyond you, meaning you're doing it for others, not just yourself, to actually accomplish that goal. Because we do a lot better of a job showing up for others oftentimes than we do for ourselves, because we can see the pain and the anguish they go through in front of our eyes, and we don't want that. We don't like that. So we're more willing to go above and beyond for those we love or we care about or that it matters for, beyond ourselves, to keep going and get better at it, because now there's more on the line, right? We're not just doing it so that we can benefit. We're doing it so that others past us can benefit. And we hold ourselves accountable and we hold ourselves to a standard because we feel great whenever we show up. And we don't want to let people down. So if you really want to make sure you don't go back to that toxic relationship, not only find a desire for why you want to get out of it and stay out of it, but then remind yourself of who loses if you don't as well, right? Maybe you're doing it for your kids so that they can see a better example of mom or dad sticking up for themselves better and not sitting around toxicity. Maybe you're doing it so they don't wind up in a toxic environment themselves, to where they're around all this messed up stuff going on. Maybe you have a little brother or sister that you want to show, hey, this is how you treat yourself, so that they don't wind up in a similar relationship that you came from because they saw an example that you set that didn't help them or something, right? Maybe you want to stay on a path of, like, since you freed yourself, you want to go to, I don't know, go to some sort of committee meetings or go to some sort of conventions or events, or mentor the youth and just go spread what you learned about being a woman, and taking care of yourself, or being a better man, and go want to, help young men or help young women, right? Find a reason that goes beyond just your initial motivation or your desire to want to go get there. And I guarantee you'll never abandon it, because you'll be doing it for more than just you. It'll be for a lot of other people. And you know that if you lose, they lose too. And the reason this third step is so pivotal and important is because when you're doing something for more than just yourself and it's for people beyond you, you start to realize a core truth, that if you don't break the cycle yourself, someone you love is going to inherit it. And if that doesn't sting to you, I don't know what does, right? But that's going to help you really break free, stay free, and guarantee that you never even consider going back. So here's your roadmap to freedom. Let your pain ignite you. Let your desire guide you, and let your purpose sustain you. You don't need to wait for them to hurt you again to leave. You don't need just one more sign. You've seen all the signs, right? So if you're looking for permission to leave, this is it. Take it, because staying is costing you too much versus getting away from that situation. If you need help implementing this 3-step process for yourself so that you can build the confidence to walk away from a toxic cycle and stay away, to make sure you don't go back, and to do it for something beyond yourself, to guarantee that you live the life you're supposed to and get the relationship you're supposed to have and influence others to do the same, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work, only if you're truly ready to put that work in. But if you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, on the time, space, and maybe even the resources, I get it, then at the very least, email or DM me the word challenge, and I'll see you in the link to take my Relationship Rulebook challenge that will at least give you the framework and let you start the process of what a rulebook guiding system for yourself looks like in a relationship, so you can know where things are making sense and where you need to make adjustments or maybe walk away. Get clear on your standards, your boundaries, your deal breakers, your values that you live by that help support those standards, boundaries, and deal breakers, so you can lead your love life with much more clarity and make the decisions you need to make based off of understanding yourself and not confusion, and letting a toxic partner's things confuse you, right? As well as the do's and don'ts in a relationship and how to navigate different communication styles, conflict resolution, as well as the different stages of a relationship, which you should be focusing on. I'll cover it all in there for you. If you can't do one-on-one coaching, this is a great launch pad place to begin that you can take at your own pace, on your own time, at a resource level you can afford. But if nothing else, do something to get in the race. Take the challenge. Let's get it.